Okay, so here we are, and it's time to set up progress monitoring schedules for our students. There are a couple of things that you're going to need to make this process go smoothly. One is the Lexile chart, and you should have gotten this from Pamela or your principal possibly. If you don't have it, you can find it on the district website under curriculum and instruction, and then if you go on the left hand side, you'll see language arts, and it is under that tab in the language arts resources. So beside the Lexile chart, you're also going to need the RCBM norms table, and to do that, you're going to go to reports, this red tab right here. Go ahead and select that. And do you see along the left-hand side there are different tabs here? It's going to be like this on a lot of screens, so if for some reason your screen isn't looking like my screen, make sure that you're using the correct tab on the left-hand side. So for this, we're going to choose the Aimsweb tab at the bottom. Go ahead and click on that. And then you'll get a screen that looks a lot like this. Make sure that reading is highlighted, and then RCBM, and then you should be able to just click on the little graph there. And what this will do is it will provide us with the Aimsweb national norms for the RCBM measurement. And you can see we have the percentiles and then fall, winter, and spring. So if I were you, I would just print this out or save it on your desktop like I have done. So let's go ahead and go back. So now that we have that, the other thing that you're going to need are the end of the year benchmark scores for each student as well as their Lexile number. So once you have those, that's the next checklist. So you have that original score. You're going to need to give a survey level assessment to get a score of where the student is at right now. Some time has passed since that last benchmark. For some of our students, the last benchmark they got was in the wintertime, so hopefully there's been an amount of growth since then. So in order to make the SLA, the survey level assessment process, easy, what you want to do is you want to use that Lexile chart. So you need to have the Lexile number of the student. So let's go ahead and let me get that pulled up here. This is what the Lexile chart looks like. So what you'll do is you'll find the last Lexile rating that the student had, and then see where that corresponds to their grade level. So my sample student, I believe that his ending Lexile was a 561. So I look over here and I see 5. Okay, so my student was right around 3.0, so the beginning of 3rd grade. So what I'm going to do to get that first SLA is I'm going to start administering probes that are 3rd grade probes to my 5th grade student. And what I want to do is I want to give my student a probe to where what they're doing is at the 50th percentile. So if I start out with 3rd grade probe, I need my student to get an 87, a 111, or a 127. And if my student is doing worse than this, then I need to move down to 2nd grade. And if my student is doing better than this, I need to give a probe from the 4th grade. Okay, so once you have the end of the year benchmark scores for each student rounded up, and you've given each student beginning of the year survey level assessment, we are ready to move on. And then we move to the tab, the blue tab in the middle that says progress monitoring. Okay, so here we are, and you can see now here I am in this tab that says schedules. Now my computer defaulted to this tab. You might default to reports. Make sure that you are in the right tab over here. And for me, my caseload has come up. Yours should too. If it doesn't, you can go up here, select teacher, and choose yourself from the list. Okay, so here you want to make sure that you're showing active schedules. So these are the students that we went and picked earlier. Here's my sample student, grade 5. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to enter the baseline and goal scores. So go ahead and click this blue area over here. All right, so now my student, we have my student's score. So last year my student was a 4th grader. It's a 5th grader now. So my student got 82 words correct and 2 errors. Okay, so I gave my student a 3rd grade probe, and my student got 98 words correct with 2 errors. So I go ahead and put that in the grade 3 area because that's the probe that I was giving. Okay, so I go ahead and put 98 words correct, 2 errors. Okay, and I want to go ahead and save this. Okay, and you can see here my SLA was right on target because this black line is going through the middle of the green bar. Okay, we want to test the student backwards until they hit that 50th percentile. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put that same data in here in the initial performance scores. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to go ahead and put in the assessment grade level. And my student, we gave him 3rd grade probes, and that's where he ended up, so we're going to put grade 3. And it's going to ask me if we want to use those SLA scores, which we do, so I'm just going to select OK. We'll put them in here for me, and then now we need to put in a little bit about the intervention we're going to use. So for this, you're going to look at the literacy plan flow chart to pick an appropriate intervention for your student. For a sample, let's just go ahead and use Lexia. So I'm going to type in Lexia in the initial probe label, and then I want to put a description in here of what we're actually going to do. And with Lexia, we want to do 60 minutes a week. So I'm going to go ahead and put 60 minutes per week. And what I also want to do is I want to put a reminder in here to change the grade level of the probe once student reaches goal. And this will just remind me that I'm going to have to continue to look at this the rest of the year. So now we're setting the goals a little bit differently than we have in the past. So for this, what we want to do is we want to look at this chart, our norms table chart that we've been using, and our student is right at the beginning of the 3rd grade level, and what we want to do is we just want to move them to the end of 3rd grade for now. This isn't their year-long goal, this is just a place for us to start. So again, we're going to look at that 50th percentile, and that's 127. So we'll go back here, and our goal corrects is going to be 127, and I like to put in 2 errors. So, and this will make sure that we're giving 3rd grade probes to our student until they meet that 3rd grade goal. And once they meet that 3rd grade goal, we'll go back in, we'll change it to a 4th grade goal and start administering 4th grade probes. So let's go ahead and save this. Okay, and this gets us all set up. So I've set my schedule. I know when the next time I need to assess is, and here I am with the goals, and this says insufficient scores for now because we haven't done any progress monitoring yet. So there you have it, and in our next video we will talk about going in and adjusting those goals mid-year. Again, if you have any questions, you can contact myself, Caitlin, or Pamela, the literacy coach. Alrighty.